Well, hello there, friends of Aegeod and friends of Alea Jacta Est. I know a lot of you really love this series. We've done a lot of Let's Plays in the past with it, and it might be the one Aegeod games which I actually have gotten like significant victories in, but we're trying an extra hard campaign, but one that I really think is really important, and that's going to be the campaign of Spartacus, the gladiator that escaped from the gladiator school with his friends and was able to actually really capture a lot of different slaves or help slaves, free them from their masters, and cause a great deal of problems to Rome. And really ultimately did die, was crucified, and killed by the Romans, but not before doing a whole lot of damage. So I'm hoping that's what we can do in this Let's Play. I don't expect a victory, but I expect at least to try and really hurt the Romans. Now, the goal of this campaign is to basically try and free a lot of our slaves by capturing Mediolanum and bribing pirates to take some of our soldiers away. Another goal is to try and capture as many Roman cities as possible and really just devastate the Roman economy. So that's what we're going to go for here in this Let's Play. Let's choose the slaves, and here we go. The Romans must kill Spartacus and eliminate all slave rebels to win at the lowest cost. The slaves under Spartacus must survive. To do so, they have to receive reinforcements, which they do by staying alive and also capturing cities in southern Italy. Then they will receive a big bonus if they manage to leave the peninsula. So we don't necessarily have to leave the peninsula, but it would definitely help. And in this scenario, the pirates are friendly with us, which is pretty awesome. We're going to show the owner of all regions, and we could see that despite these regions being in control of the Romans, we are, how could I put this, we've got a lot of slaves over here that are willing to join us. So let's take a look and see what we've got. So far, we just have Spartacus, his friend Crassus, not Crassus, I'll find his name eventually. I can't believe I remember it. Anyway, I really like that they took the Kirk Douglas portrait from the original Spartacus movie, which is much cooler in my opinion than the new show. Some of you may disagree, but it's all up to really just opinion, obviously. So I'm going to stay with Spartacus here. He doesn't seem very strong at this point, but I am going to have this army join him. Despite the fact that this army is locked, we're trying to take the city of Neapolis from the Romans, so we're going to remain here. We're not going to remain on an attacking formation, just a defensive formation, and we're really hoping that we're going to have some slaves join us. Now, we can actually go ahead and get some replacements for our elite infantry, which is pretty cool. We're definitely going to do that, and right now we don't have many options. I know that options are definitely going to come later in this campaign, in this scenario, and let's hope that they come sooner rather than later. So let's go ahead and end the turn here. Hope that the next turn is more merciful to us. There's our friend, and it's Crixus. That's right, Crixus. He is a good friend of Spartacus. Really helped him do quite well in this rebellion. We've also got this slave army over here, the Pastium Rebellio. I'm going to try to get them to Spartacus here in 8 days, but actually I want to try to avoid any Roman patrols, attacks, whatever you want to call them. Also, this northern African area is not important. I don't know why I even went there. So we're going to move him up to Beneventum, but I want to try to avoid the Roman force at Mediolanum. So I'm going to go to Beneventum and then join Spartacus' army. It should take 24 days. Since we don't have this area under our control, we can't actually build any sort of depots. Although we could probably build depots at Beneventum. I'm going to ignore that for now, maybe under my best, not such good judgment, but I want to see what happens. I also want to see if any of the things have opened up. No, so far they haven't, but maybe we can get some more replacements, although I don't think we need them. And let's end the turn. Come on, Romans, attack us. What are you, cowards? Apparently the answer to that is yes. Okay, Beneventum is totally under our control now, but Neapolis is one place we still have to take control of. I'm going to grab all of these slaves that have run away from their masters to join us. which is pretty awesome. And now that Beneventum's under our control, I could even build some depots here. I'm going to build a depot with this slave army. With Spartacus, I'm going to stay cool. I'm not going to mess around too much, but eventually we are going to try to take Neapolis. It might be a really hard battle. It might be a tough fight to even take this area, but we've got to try. We can also get some replacements here, which I'm very, very thankful for, and this is hopefully going to greatly improve our army. I'm definitely going to train our slaves. Now, to do this, it's going to cost us 3 event points and 15 denarii, 1 survey unit with Spartacus. I think it's worth it, and then we lead the attack against Neapolis and hopefully take it. Hopefully that depot has been constructed. We're going to need it to finish our supplies. And look at this. We've got another guy, Oenomaus Manus. I'm not familiar with this guy, but right now what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep this army together. The command is 48. We could obviously split this if we want. Right now, see that yellow? That's meaning that these guys, that essentially means that these guys are not in the greatest shape. But nonetheless, I'm going to go for a assault posture and an all-out attack. I don't want our men retreating. I want to take this area of Neapolis. At the same time, let's take a look here. We have that depot. I'm going to try to join Spartacus. 7 days to get there, and hopefully they get there before the start of the battle. Let's hope we can take this from the Romans, guys. Victoria, guys. Look at that. An army of 15,000. We only have 17,000, and they lost 4,305 men under Claudius Gaber. That's an amazing victory. We take a look here at the battle statistics, and most of these are urban cohorts. So these are not, militia units. These guys are tough. But nonetheless, we've got all the peditis, the pastores, pastors, I guess, the servi, the slaves, the impedimenta, and the praesidium. We've got some pretty decent troops here. And, of course, the gladiatores lentulus. The gladiators are amazing. They're an elite infantry unit. And if we can keep getting victories here, I think we're going to do very, very well. Now we've got another slave army that just joined us. Hope continues. And it looks like we were kicked out of Neapolis. No worries. I am going to go back to Neapolis. I'm not giving up that easily, although they do have a pretty sick army there. Then again, we could stay here, and look at this, more slaves. Each of these regions we move through and capture, we're going to be freeing a lot of slaves, so maybe we should go to Nola and try to take it, although Mediolanum would be a very important place to take. I think that Nola might be not such a bad place. We could build a depot here, so maybe we should play it cool, try to build a depot, increase the amount of men in our army, and focus on fighting later. Now, this might be one of the only scenarios where I'm not going to split up too many of our actual armies. I don't think we should, because we need to be as strong as possible, and we're only going to do that by sticking together. Alright, I think you guys saw there in the north some generals coming to capture us. Once again, merging Spartacus with this awesome force. We are going to attack Nola, guys. 47 days to get there, and that makes sense. I mean, the more guys you have in an army, the longer it's going to take, but Mediolanum is only 27 days away, and I feel confident that we can actually get a victory here. I'm going for it. Yes, it's going to be a tough victory. It's going to be a lot of work to take this area, but I think it's worth it, and we are going to train our slaves, although we're using a lot of event points to do this, so I'm not going to do this all the time. In this one attack, I am going to. He is on an all-out attack. I don't want him to retreat for any reason. We must take this city. It's absolutely important, and it's actually one of the locations that could lead to our victory. It also allows us to get some men out of here on slave victory at Nola, guys. Beautiful. 4,920 men lost. Our army is now 32,000 men. Unbelievable. That's a lot of dead Romans. We even took 2 cohorts prisoners, about 1,000 men. I think that's pretty good. And if we take a look here, they're still got the Presidium Metapontum. I think these guys are just essentially militia troops of sorts. And now roll. That is really cool. We also relieved some slaves here. Going to join the army. Absolutely awesome here. And I'm going to keep these guys together once again. I want to see if we can build a depot. I'm staying at Metapontum. Now we've got some interesting options, I believe, or we will very soon, where we can actually go ahead and start sending some of these slaves to freedom using our pirate friends. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to strengthen this army, and hopefully the Romans don't attack us, but we've got to move at somewhere. We might go to Nola, we might go over here to Tarentum, but I think we should stick around our zone of control over here and make the best of it. Attack us, Romans. Now you can see we're very, very strong. Those 4 green bars are a real sign of control, a real sign of terror for the enemy, let's put it that way. And I think now that Spartacus's army is quite strong, we should go ahead and continue taking these Roman settlements. I'm going to Nola, 31 days away. Yes, it's quite a march, but we've got to accept these realities of our current conflict. So let's go for it, guys. For freedom. Now, I could have forced marched our men, but I didn't, and I don't think we should, all things considered. I do want to see if we can get some elite infantry replacements, some light infantry replacements, why not? Make our army as strong as possible, and you can see me just clicking the mouse like crazy. We could train our slaves, and I think I will train them again. You know, a lot of these slaves that we're capturing, they're not gladiatores. They're not the elites of a slave army. So we do need to make sure that these guys know how to fight. But let's go ahead and see if we can capture Nola and free the people there from tyranny. Glorious victory at Nola, guys, wiping out nearly the entire garrison there, losing only 1,414 men. The Romans are definitely getting worried. And there is a slave defeat, but this was just one of the slave armies that just rose up randomly, which is going to happen throughout the campaign. And it looks like Lucius Furius was able to kill them with not many men. So that's unfortunate. Those guys could have joined our army, but shit happens, as I say. Okay, here we go. Nola is hands, but we just had Coensius Manus join our army, and I am definitely going to go on an all-out assault of Nola. I want to take this area back for us, and then move back to Mediolanum and possibly take it, or even to Beneventum. But we must keep taking this territory from the enemy. Maybe we should even go ahead and continue forward. Hopefully we can besiege Nola anyway. In fact, I'm staying here to make sure we besiege Nola. I will take a look here at the different things. We could bribe the pirates. Since now we control Mediolanum, we could actually gain 10 victory points and lose some of the slaves that we have. But I don't think we're in a position to give up any of our slaves. We need to keep this army strong for now. We can focus on giving away slaves when we start getting consistent victories. So let's go ahead and continue. Let's take this area, have yet another area and region under our control, and more importantly, a Roman city. There we go, a slave victory. We totally wiped out the garrison at Nola. We've now got 56,000 men under our control. That is an army that terrifies even the biggest of empires. And look at that, guys. Nola's under our control. Pretty awesome. Go ahead, take a look here. See if we can build a depot. No, there's a depot here already. So now we want to focus on where to attack next. The enemy has taken back some of the settlements which we freed, but I think at this point we've got to be conservative, we've got to accept our losses, and we've got to do everything we can to still get a victory here. I'm still not going to bribe those pirates. I don't want to get rid of any of our men. I know that would be the nicest thing to do, but I am going to train our slave army, and I'm going to let you guys decide what we do here. Do we go for Beneventum? Do we go south? Do we go west for Neapolis? Do we try to grab all of them? I mean, there's a lot of different things we can do here. We still control a nice part of Italy, even Bovilanum, which is probably where that tiny slave army was killed. But we've got to be smart here if we want to get a victory. So I'm going to let you guys decide in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the Let's Play, and thank you for watching.